Session. This is the frequently asked previous year questions, part six, and you are with me, Arun Sharma, in this session. Just waiting for confirmation that I'm actually live with you guys. So we have done these questions till 24 in yesterday's session. I'm just showing you the next question. In the meantime, just waiting for confirmation for my session to have started. So, can you have a look at this first question today? Yeah, I guess you guys can see me now. So, this is the first question for today, and the following questions, and this is very, very common in terms of CET. This question type is very common in terms of CET, where what they do is they ask you uh, to determine the relationship between two variables x and y, and you have to mark 1a if x is greater than y, and if x is greater than equal to y, you have to mark c. If x is less than y, you have to mark b. X is less than equal to y, you have to mark d. And x is equal to y, or relationship cannot be established. In that case, you have to mark e. So this is a very common question which talks about comparison of two quantities. So this is the first question that you see on this side. So I want you to try to solve this. First, question 25. Try to get the value of x here. So if you look at the solution, or before I actually give you the solution, I also want to talk to you about Unacademy Plus, where I am one of the trainers, and the courses that I'm doing in March are the foundation course on data interpretation and the advanced course of arithmetic on Unacademy Plus. So if you do decide to join Unacademy Plus, you can use my promo code, which is arun.yt, and this promo code will give you a 10% discount on the existing fees. So this is this thing. You know my name, Arun Sharma, and I am an author with McGraw-Hill. I'm a 20-time CAT qualifier. I've pretty much trained lakhs of people for CAT, and now I'm teaching data interpretation, logical reasoning, and some advanced courses on quantitative aptitude also on Academy Plus. Right, so I hope to see some of you there. Use my promo code arun.yt to join in case you want to attend any of my classes there. Right, so if I look at this question, then this first question, the first equation is giving me the value of x, or helping me to find the value of x. And since that equation is 4 by root x plus 3 by root x, that can be written as 7 by root x is equal to root x. If I take this root x to that side, I'll get the value of x is 7 here. The value of x we get out is 7 here, and if you look at the second equation, that's giving you the value of y, which tells you that y raised to 5 by 2 minus y raised to 7 by 2 is equal to 0, divided by root of y is equal to 0. So when you have an equation of this sort, y raised to 5 by 2 minus 7 raised to 5 by 2 divided by root y is equal to 0. Any fraction to be equal to 0, its numerator has to be equal to 0. So you can pretty much ignore the denominator here while solving and say that y raised to 5 by 2 minus 7 raised to 5 by 2 has to be 0, which means that y raised to 5 by 2 has to be equal to 7 raised to 5 by 2. And in that situation, the value of y is 7. So two simple equations, solving these two gives you the value of x is 7 and y is 7. And hence you can choose the answer to this question as option E, because the relationship you see here is x is equal to y. So answer to question 25 will be E. Let's look at 26. So in 26 you have, and these questions are very straightforward. They are so to say mark givers, because they help you get marks or score heavily in your exam. And this question says 25x squared plus 25x plus 6 is equal to 0. So if I use this question, it's telling me 25x squared plus 25x plus 6 is equal to 0. That's what the first equation tells me. And the second equation tells me 5y squared plus 20y plus 20 is equal to 0. So we'll come back to the second equation a little bit later here. And if I look at the first equation here, what I get to see is that the roots of this equation for the value of x are minus b. This is using the quadratic equation formula, that for a quadratic equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, the roots of the equation are given as minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So this is the formula for the roots of a quadratic equation which you have to use here in this question. So the value of x will be minus 25 minus b plus minus under root b square is 625 minus 4ac, 4 times 2500 and 6 is 600, so minus 600 upon 2a, which is upon 50. So one root of this is minus 25 plus 5, because under root 625 minus 600, under root will be 5 only. So one root of this is minus 25 plus 5 upon 50, and the other root of this is minus 25 minus 5 upon 50. So the values you get for x are minus 20 by 50, that is minus 0.4, and minus 30 by 50, which is minus 0.6. These are the two values that you get for x in this situation. minus 0.4 and minus 0.6. So now you have to compare this to the value of y. So you'll have to go to the y equation. The y equation is 5y square. The equation for y square for y is 5y square plus 20y. These are comparison questions between x and y. As I've already showed you, this is how you mark the answer. If x is greater than y, you mark A. If x is less than y, you mark B. If x is greater than equal to y, then you mark C. If x is less than equal to y, you mark D. And if x is equal to y, then you mark E in these situations. So 5y square plus 20y plus 20 is equal to 0. 5y square plus 20y plus 20 is equal to 0. So if you solve this, the roots of this equation would end up as minus 20 minus b plus minus under root b square, that means 400, minus 4ac, 4 times a into c, 5 into 20. 4 times 5 into 20 is 400. So minus 400. So effectively this part of the roots get deleted upon 2a. So upon 2a is 10. So if you look at this, the value of this root, it's minus 2. So the value of y is clearly minus 2 and the value of x can be minus 0.4 or minus 0.6. So if you visualize this on the number line, if this is your 0, the value of x can be minus 0.4 or minus 0.6. These are the two possible values of x. These are two possible values of x. So, and the value of y is minus 2. So whatever value of x you take, x is always to the right of y. As you can clearly see here, x is always towards the right of y, and hence the value of x is larger than y. And with that, you can conclude that since x is larger than y, option A is the right answer in this question. In 26. Similarly, look at question 27. So as you can see, these questions are very scoring in CET, and you should get it. There are 6 such questions like they were there in CET 2019. You should aim to get full marks here. The only thing you need to work on is how quickly you can get these answers. So 27x square, and sometimes you should also try to do this question using your splitting of the middle term logic. So minus 0.4 minus 0.6 में splitting of middle term possible नहीं था, लेकिन इसमें अगर देखोगे 2x square plus 11x plus 12 is equal to 0, तो 2x square plus 11x plus 12 is equal to 0. इस question में you are able to split 2x square plus 11x plus 12 is equal to 0. You are able to split the middle term as plus 8x and plus 3x. So you need to understand the visualization of this, because this might make a huge difference whether you're going through the quadratic formula to get this answer or you're going through your normal splitting the middle term in this answer, because if splitting the middle term is possible, and you have to go through quadratic formula for some reason, then it becomes a very long drawn process. जैसे पिछले question में भी in the last question also, when we are doing this 5y square plus 20y plus 20, we should have been able to see the splitting of the middle term. That should have been possible to be seen, right? So it makes it much faster. So what are the principles that you should be able to realize for splitting of the middle term? The first thing is you have to look at when you're trying to split the middle term for any quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c. You should first look at whether you should first look at the value of a into c. You should look at the value of a into c, the product of this, and then try to build that product using a splitting of b. And there are four kinds of splitting of b: the plus plus split, the plus minus split, the minus plus split, and the minus minus split. So there are four kinds in which you split the middle term. There are four ways or four essential dimensions of splitting the middle term. Now, when do you use which? वो visualization किस तरह से है कि अगर a into c जब तुमने किया, when you did the a into c product, and if the a into c product is positive, then the middle term splitting will have to be either plus into plus or minus into minus. So for example, we just saw this example of plus into plus. We saw that the product was 24 of 2 into 12. So we tried to split the middle term into two parts such that the parts should add up to what the middle term is and the product should be 24. So 24 के factors में 24 के factor pairs में अगर search करोगे 124, 212, तो 3, 8 पे तुमको factors दिखेगा. So that is when you decide okay, this is the split I want because 3 plus 8 is 11 and 3 into 8 is 24. Right? When do you go for the minus minus split? A situation like this. If you have 2x square minus 11x plus 12 is equal to 0. यहाँ पे भी तुम्हारा जो product of a into c है, when you check the product of a into c, you can see that the product is 24. And since you want the product to be plus 24, the signs of the split, both the sides of the splits have to be equal. It has to be either plus plus or minus minus, since you want a into c to be a positive product. So in this situation, and since you need to make the middle term to be minus 11, your split will be minus 8x and minus 3x. That's how the split will happen in this scenario. Now, when the product of a into c is negative, then the split is plus minus or minus plus. So for example, if I illustrate to you an example for that, let's say you have a quadratic equation of x square plus x minus 12 is equal to 0. If this is your quadratic equation, then you realize that the product of a into c is minus 12. So if the product is negative, the product is negative, you need a split which will be a split of this middle term in two opposite signs, because you want the product of the parts split to be negative. So in this scenario, you go to a plus minus or a minus plus split. And then you see that 12 with a difference of 1 can be used with 4 and minus 3. 4 into minus 3 gives me minus 12. And because this is plus in between, you use the plus 4x and minus 3x as the splitting part. So you have to get better at these splitting reactions so that you can do these questions effortlessly. अगर यहाँ पे बीच में माइनस होता, एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस एक्स माइनस 12 होता, तो ये बीच का स्प्लिट माइनस 4x प्लस 3x होता. Minus 4x plus 3x will give you minus x, plus 4x minus 3x will give you plus x. So this is how you think of middle term splits. And when you look at this question, then what happens, you're doing the split of 11 so that you can get a product of plus 24. So 8x and 3x are the splits. So if you take the 2x common here, you'll get an x plus 4, and that gives me a value x plus 4 and the 3 common. So again I'll have second part may be x plus 4. So this expression can be written as x plus 4 into 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. So that gives me x is either minus 4 or x is minus 1.5, 3 by 2. These are two values that I get for x. Now we'll have to check for the value of y from the equation given to us. If you go back to that equation, the second equation is 2y square plus 19y plus 45. So if you look at the splitting logic, 45 into 2 is 90, and that can be split as 10 plus 9 for 19, because you want same direction split because there is a product is positive. So you will split 2y square plus 19y as 2y square plus 10y plus 9y. You should get the split instantly. तभी फायदा होगा, तभी फास्ट होगा क्वेश्चन. Plus 9y plus 45. So इसमें y plus 5 कॉमन होगा दोनों साइड में, and this will get multiplied by 2y plus 9. This step I'm skipping. I hope you can visualize this. I'm getting 2y plus 9 here. That'll give me 2y square plus 10y plus 9y, 19y plus 45. This will end up giving me y as minus 5 and y as minus 4.5. And again, if I visualize this on the number line, what I can see very clearly is that if I put my 0 here, the values of x are minus 1.5 and minus 4, whereas the values of y are minus 4.5 and minus 5. So whatever you do, y is still to the left of x in all cases. And in this situation, again x is greater than y. So option A becomes the right answer because x is greater than y again here. That's again the right answer here. So let's have a look at a couple of more questions here. Question 28 is again a quadratic equation question. Can you try to solve this? 4 into 12, 48, can be split as minus 16, minus 3 here for the x value. And on the y value, 12 and 5 will be the split of minus 7. So to put it very quickly for you, or if I do it straight away on this, when I'm trying to split for x, I see 4x square. First of all, I see 4 into 12 as 48, and that 48 I can see as minus 16 minus 3. So 4x square minus 16x minus 3x plus 12 gives me 4x common and x minus 4 into minus 3 common into x minus 4. So if I solve that, this will become 4x minus 3 into x minus 4. So x turns out to be 3 by 4, or x also turns out to be 4. This is the solution for the x part here. Y को उसी तरह से देखोगे तो you have the expression y square minus 7y minus 60 is equal to 0, and since the product of minus 60 into 1, which is the coefficient of y square, is minus 60, you need a split of the middle term in positive negative or negative positive, and you should be able to see that this will be split as y square minus 12y plus 5y minus 60 is equal to 0, and that will get split as y into y minus 12 plus 5 into y minus 12. So if you solve this, you'll get the value of y as minus 5 and 12. Now when you're trying to visualize which one is bigger and which one is smaller, the best thing to do is think on the number line. Hi Jinka, welcome to the class. So best thing is to think of is on the number line. That's the best way to visualize inequalities like this. So the value of y is, if you look back, the values of x are 3 by 4 or 4. So if my 0 is here, the values of x are 3 by 4 or 4, whereas the value of y is 12 or minus 5. So if I carry this forward, my value of y is 12 or minus 5. So in this scenario, I cannot say whether y is larger than x or y is smaller than x. So the relationship cannot be determined in this case, and hence the correct answer to this question is the relationship of x and y cannot be established. This would be the correct answer here. Right? So this is how you tackle these questions, and the last one is pretty simple. I'm skipping the 29th one. You can have a look at it and try to solve it yourself. This is again based on quadratic equations, and this is one of the favorite questions of comparisons, where they give you two quadratic equations to find the value of x and y, and the last step in all these questions is to kind of make a number line like this and try to visualize whether you're getting y exclusively larger or smaller than x. If you go back to this, x is square root of 1024. So in this question you get x is 32. In this question you get x is 32. And the second question, y square is 1024. In this case, y comes out as plus minus 32. And in fact, x is square root of 1024 also tells me that x is plus minus 32. So, in this scenario, what option will you choose? If x is plus 32, y can be minus 32 or plus 32. And if x is minus 32, y can be plus 32 also. So again, यहाँ पे you don't know which value of x and y to take. So यहाँ पे please notice it is not x equals y. In this question, it will be the relationship cannot be determined because it's either x is equal to y or the relationship cannot be determined. Option E is the right answer in this case. Right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. I'll wind up here. Just reminder, use the promo code arun.yt to join Unacademy Plus, and that'll allow you to give you to get access to my live courses on Unacademy Plus, and apart from me, a lot of 20 odd other faculties are teaching on Unacademy Plus. So arun.yt, this promo code will give you a 10% discount on the existing fees, on the discounted fees on Unacademy Plus. You can join with this promo code, and I hope to see some of you in my upcoming courses, the foundation course in data interpretation, which is coming up on 9th March, and the advanced course on arithmetic, which is also starting around the same date. So I look forward to seeing some of you there. And with that, I'll wind up for today. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the session, and bye bye. Come back with more in the next session. Thank you.